remember the first time I laid eyes on her. The memory feels as though it happened yesterday. She was walking out of the market, her arms full of bags. Her hair was tied back, but the breeze had taken a few strands and he framed her face perfectly. I remember how beautiful her eyes were when they met mine for only a second, but in that second I fell in love. She was the most stunning woman I had ever seen. I'm not embarrassed to admit that after introducing myself, it only took a few weeks for our love to grow into a huge knot of indescribable emotions. She was so intriguing, every moment a new adventure. I remember the first time she slipped her hand in mine, so confident without a care in the world. I admired her and how she greeted anything new with an energy that baffled me. My parents were surprised when I brought someone like her home. My mother smiled at her as though she knew what the world had in store for us, as though she knew what young love could do for two teenagers who were lost in one another. Nothing else mattered. My father nodded his approval and laughed whenever she said something unexpected, and with her, she embodied the unexpected. She had me wrapped around her finger, her charm and wit, a treasure that isn't always found in the world. We cared for each other so deeply. I often thought we had been soulmates in different lives, as if 500 years ago we had been tied together by fate's string, and since then we were destined to meet in another life. I remember taking her dancing for the first time. That was the only thing she had met with hesitation. She was so bashful she declined my every invitation, even though she looked absolutely beautiful in a dress that made her glow. Every man's eyes were on her as soon as she came through the door, and it made me proud to have someone as stunning as her. Finally she relented, and I promise you nothing replaced the feeling of leading her to the dance floor. Her hand gripped tight on my arm. Her body pressed so close to mine as we twirled, I thought we would become one. She apologized for her clumsy steps, but it only made me love her more. She was perfect in my eyes. It didn't matter what we were doing, we always had fun. She was completely enchanting, every moment with her flew by so quickly. Our relationship was a whirlwind of adventures. That day still fills me with an emptiness that I have yet to feel anything that could take its place. She had been complaining of headaches for months, but waved off any advice to go to the doctors. I remember finding her on the bathroom floor after my morning walk. She had never looked so pale or still. The doctor said her body was attacking itself, unable to fix itself. She held my hand so tight that I thought she'd never let go, and she didn't for the 2 years she fought. I held every morning I woke up next to her close to my heart, never knowing when our last one would be. Even now I can see her staring into my eyes, willing me to go on when I no longer had her. I never thought all the fun times would come to an end. To me, she was timeless. Her vibrancy lit up my world. I had no idea that light could ever go out. To think our good times would come to an end shook my world. Gone were the days of fast-paced moments and stolen kisses. Days feel like weeks now, months feel like years. I wait until the day I can meet with her again and tell her everything she's missed. She was my everything. To this day she still is. She's still my light that will never go away.